Hey guys, welcome to another edition of A Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So these cars, one, two, three, and the 69 EV Beetle all got some love today, so let's talk about what we did. The 59 Euro here, a few things, nothing super major, but spent a little bit of time on it. Today I went and installed the clutch Bowden tube. Let me grab a light. There we go. So the Bowden tube is the tube that the clutch cable runs through. For you, those of you that are maybe new to Volkswagens, you can kind of see it right here. And that tube has a curve in it that's very important. If you're not sure about that, you can check. I've got a how-to video, or a tech tip, I guess as I call it, on why putting a curve in that tube is important. Anyway, so went ahead and installed that today. Again, not a big deal, but one more thing checked off the list. The other thing I did, which went fairly smoothly, is to put in the actual engine compartment seal. So there's the firewall one that you see here. That one fought me a little bit, although it wasn't too bad. And then the rear one, which goes around the perimeter of the engine compartment, you see here, that one actually went in really easy, so very happy about that. So got those installed. I have a starter on order for this car. I thought it was going to come today, but it didn't. So as soon as that's in, these two wires that are dangling here, I'll go ahead and connect those. And then I think at that point the wiring for this car is pretty much done, because these other wires here go to the engine, which is going to be installed by another shop. And then actually this one is for the tail light. So as soon as, or excuse me, the license plate light. So after I get the starter in, I'll probably go ahead and install the deck lid. I've got all the pieces for it now, and then I can connect the license plate light. That's we're getting down to kind of the nitty gritty for this car. We still need to get some striker plates for it and get those in. I'm gonna do a restoration on the steering wheel. It's a really nice steering wheel, but it's got some little chunks missing out of the rim itself. The ribbed areas there and there are actually really nice. That's usually the area that's bad on these. So restoration of just the ring itself is really all this one needs, and then we'll paint it and clear coat it. It'll look as good or better than new, and it's extra cool because it's not recast. It's going to be an actual original wheel. So let's move on to the 64 one family car. Rafa didn't have a lot of time to work on this one today. I'll talk about what else he was mainly working on, but he's just working a little bit more on getting the sound deadening material on the floor. So we custom make these. They look pretty nice, and they're all sort of trimmed to fit very precisely with the pan, and they do a really good job of deadening the sound. You know, it's kind of a nicer touch than just plastering Dynamat all over the place. Dynamat does a really great job of sound deadening, but you know, it's just not very original looking. So a really nice restoration like this, we want to stick as close to original looking materials as we can. And so this is one of those little touches that we do, is put in these mats that are at least pretty close to original as far as their thickness and so on. So other than that, we spent quite a bit of time today on tin work for motors. So those of you that saw yesterday's episode, I was working on the tin work for the 57 Beetle quite a bit. Got it more or less finished up. Rafa went today and put a few final touches on some of that tin work, and then we took it over to powder coating. They said they'll have it back to us in about a week. That's Al over at Americoat, just down the street from us on Batavia. If anyone's looking for a powder coater, go talk to Al over there. Super cool guy, very knowledgeable. He's done lots and lots of Volkswagen parts, so he totally gets how these parts need to be done. The other thing is this motor, the 36 horse for again the Prairie Beige 57. We didn't have a good intake manifold for it, and we dug around through our stash today, and lo and behold, we found a bit of a unicorn in that this is a 36 horse manifold, but the heat risers are not plugged. That's pretty hard to actually find one of these that's in really nice shape. I mean, I know this looks ugly because the paint is kind of crappy on it, but you can see it doesn't have a lot of dents and dings in it. It's very straight. Once we get this thing cleaned up and coated, it's going to look great. But yeah, importantly, the heat riser is completely open, and that's very hard to find. If anyone has a stash of 36 horsepower intake manifolds with open and good heat risers and you want to get rid of them, let me know. I might be interested in buying them up from you. And then the heater boxes for those, I got the pieces off that I had to cut off from the old exhaust. So what we're going to do with the exhaust on this one is we're going to have it Cerakoted. So talk today to the folks at MB down in Santa Ana, kind of almost by Irvine. We're going to go ahead and probably bring these parts down there tomorrow and do a one of those coating on it and see how that comes out. Probably do like a gray, try and get close to an original VW looking color again with the Cerakote. And then likewise, let's see, where is it? Oh, it's in a box over here. So this is all the tin work here that Raf has already gone through and done all the body work for, or on rather. This is the tin work for the 40 horse, which is laying around here somewhere on a dolly. I don't know where it is. Anyway, oh, there it is, I think. Anyway, yeah, so that's all the tin work for the 40 horse for the 64 one family car. So that tin work is probably going to go to powder coating also tomorrow, and we'll have that hopefully back in about a week. And then at that point, since we have the long block done, that motor can start going together. And it's going to be super nice motor, very correct in all its parts and details, and you know, kind of in the same way that the motor is for this thing that you guys have seen before. That's going to be every bit as nice, except a 40 horse instead of a 36 horse. And then likewise, the motor that we're going to put together for this car, the customer actually kind of cited the motor on this one that he wants it that nice. So that's what we're going to build him. So other than that, the 69 EV got a little love today. So I'm going to undercoat the inner fender areas and then the undersides of the fenders. So I went ahead and pulled the rear fenders today and started kind of cleaning and scraping the underside of those. Got them pretty good to the point where undercoating should go on pretty nice. And then likewise, let me pause this for a second. Likewise, started preparing the actual inner fender areas of the body. Those had undercoating all over them and were a bit of a mess. I know they look ugly still, but they're down to the point where the undercoating is going to stick really nice and leave a nice coat on there. So I went ahead and did that on both sides. And so probably tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and apply undercoating, and then we'll do the undercoating actually up underneath there too, under the body. And then I'll move on to the front and do the same thing on the front. And then at that point, this body will pretty much be done to the point where we want to go and have the headliner put in it. And then at that point, I think it's about ready to meet or re-meet its chassis. So again, I'm hoping maybe next week, or hopefully at least before the end of the year, we'll have the 69 body on the 69 pan, and this thing's gonna really start to look like something. So that's it for today. Very productive day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel if you like our content. And if you like our videos, please click like. Check out our tech tips. I mentioned the Bowden tube earlier, and then removing undercoating, which is what I did on the body there. I've got a tech tip on that makes it 1,000 times easier. So check those out. Thanks a lot. Bye.